I said it's a I said it's a I said it's a Purple Pants Premonition.
What's going on? And welcome back to your Purple Pants Premonitions. We are in the month of July. It don't matter if we 2 weeks in the month. The message is the message. I'm so excited to be here with my co-host, the amazing, the talented, the ever so giving and loving Mr. Garry DeAndre. Welcome back. And actually, the talented, the amazing, the author, Garry DeAndre. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. How are you doing today?
I'm hot. My body is hot and sticky, but I'm here. I'm excited. And I'm ready for the premonitions. How are you? How's your summer been treating you?
Summer has been treating me. She's been busy. I've been all over the place. I'm looking forward to having a moment to sit down. So I'm glad that we was able to catch each other so that way I could sit down and talk with you and talk to people. That's why it's taken a little bit of time for us to get the premonitions together because the doll was on the move. She had things going on. So she had a moment to finally sit down and get some things together for the people.
Yes. Okay. It's the summer of moving around, moving and shaking. So I love it.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to see what the premonitions hold because I haven't even looked into what's going on. She's been so damn busy. Haven't had a moment to check in with the spirits, with the universe, and see what's happening. So I'm excited to see what comes up today as well. And of course, I'm going to be using my deck in order to be able to figure out what's happening. Why not? We have it, so we might as well use it. But I figured I would start with what I was pulling today because I think I told you I have my own little blog and everything like that. And this morning, the message was talking about basically like being in this season of really having to use your voice, really having to use your own personal power. And that spoke to me because it was just talking about how we are the lion, right? Diving into your masculine, really involving yourself in things that really make you pop, really make you want to do stuff. And the day before, it was talking about how we need to use our gifts and we need to be really honing in on our special gifts in order to make sure that we are bringing something forth to the people. You know what I mean? We all have special gifts and talents, and making sure that we are right now using those gifts and talents to share with our communities because it's going to be really, really important for us to be seen in this upcoming season. So for some of us that like to be in hiding, because I know myself, I like to be in hiding, this is the time for us to be out and about, okay? So I just wanted to lead with that before we got into anything. It's the season of being out and about. Are you being out and about?
I'm half in, half out, but I am,
Okay.
I received that message though, because I think that is super, super important. I just was in Mexico for Desi's wedding and I went with like one of my best friends. And so sometimes like when I travel with groups of people, I'm a well-traveled person myself, but sometimes I fall into when I travel with other people, I'll fall into like this lazy mode of I'll just let the other person lead and just I'll follow along. But it was just very interesting going with my best friend of like over 25 years, and you talk about that like masculine spirit where it was like we were in a different country, we ain't speak the language, and I definitely had to let my leadership come on out. And it was just, refreshing. And it was just even funny. My friend was telling me after the trip, she was just like, it was so interesting just seeing you take lead and I'm like, well, that's always been there. I always could do that. I just, the dial sometimes falls back. So I definitely resonate with that message.
Yeah, good. Look at you stepping on out, letting people see you and taking ownership, taking leadership. And that's exactly what we should be doing. I feel like not just in this season, but just period, like in life, like allowing ourselves to be able to take up the leadership role and know that sometimes we have to step into that leadership role in order for people to be heard the right direction. Sometimes people need leadership and don't know how to ask for it. So
and sometimes you are the leader. Sometimes you are the leader.
Okay, and just need to be the leader instead of playing like you're not. But this leads into my first card, which is coming up as the Hanged One. And this is coming up in reverse. So to me, this is all about what we are experiencing right now when it comes to taking a step back and looking at things from a different perspective. So maybe this is an opportunity for us to look at something brand new that we are doing in the month of July from a different perspective. And it maybe is stressing us out right now because it's having us do things in a way that we don't necessarily anticipate. I can see this as delays. I can see this as us needing to take a step back from stuff and come back to it at a different time because it's not the right time for us to be doing stuff. And it's just like it's like the theme of rejection is God's protection is what is coming up for me right now. So it's like if it's not happening in the time that you anticipated for it to, then maybe this is a sign that this is just not for you in this very moment, in this very season, and that's okay. But with the Hanged One coming out in reverse as well, it's about you taking a moment to do something that you enjoy, something that allows you to take yourself out of your normal reality, right? So I think about this as some of the events or some of the hobbies that you have that you can take some time to put your efforts and your energy into. As you can see, she's on the pole right now. Maybe that's something she likes to do. You know, she's a pole trainer. You never really know what's going on. But it's like, what is a hobby or what is something that you like to do in order to kind of like take yourself out of your normal environment, or maybe tap into that sexier side of you during this season could be really, really important. In addition to that, we have the Justice card. So the Justice card comes up, and the Justice card is really all about having things in balance. This could also be in relationship to things with the law. So if anybody has any outstanding like things going on with the law, like this could be something coming out in your favor as well. And maybe you have to look at things from a different perspective in order to see that this is going in your favor. Maybe you've been waiting for an answer for a really long time, and now somebody is going to tell you that things are going to be okay, right?
Mm.
So with these two cards together, this is making me feel like this month is going to be a month of us shifting our lens and looking at things in a sense of balance, right? What do we need in order for us to be more balanced with some of the things that we have been doing? So like I said earlier, I've been doing a lot of ripping and running and really, really busy and out of the house. And right now, I have been looking at that as like, okay, it's nice to feel seen. It's nice to be around my people, but I really want to nest right now. It just feels very important for me to get my rest and, you know, regenerate, rejuvenate, because I got a lot of stuff that's coming up. So just looking at it instead of it being like a negative thing, looking at it as being a positive thing and being like, okay, I have to take this step back in order for me to get my rest and my relaxation on. And it's what I need in order to be able to proceed the right direction. Subconsciously, however, with the Queen of Plants coming up, the Queen of Plants or the traditional Queen of Pentacles here, I'll give it to you upright so that way you can see all of the beauty of the card. When the Queen of Plants comes out, this is somebody who is nurturing, okay? And maybe it's connected to nature in some way. This is someone who is very, very in touch with themselves, very, very in tune with the people around them, really loves their community. And maybe you haven't been leaning into your community as well as you would like to during this month. And this is the call for you to get closer to people that are going to help you with making sure that you are getting yourself into balance, making sure that you're getting yourself back on the right track, right? So maybe this is you looking at somebody that is living the life that you want to live. Maybe in some instance, maybe it's like they're traveling a little bit. Maybe they've got their rest and relaxation on and you want to figure out how to get like them. You could take some time to really sit and really ponder how you can ask this person for guidance. So yeah, it feels like this month so far is really pushing us to look at things from different perspectives. It's really pushing us to look at things in a balanced state and really get ourselves in a place of making sure that we are connecting with people in a way that feels good. So this is kind of like what I'm seeing on the surface. But I do want to read some advice cards in order to see what comes out as well. How does this feel for you so far?
It feels very, what's the word? Nurturing. Feels very like they're speaking to me, and it's a message. I feel like the taking the time to do something that like you enjoy, and
Mm-hmm.
it resonates with me because there are things that I enjoy, but sometimes I do them on a level of like performative or like for a podcast or something, when it's really like I want to just be in my bed watching this new seasons of Vikings Vashala, and I don't want to like talk about it. I just want to like take it in for myself. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
like I receive that.
Amen. Amen. Well, I will actually get us to the next set of cards because I was like, okay, let's see what we got for the advice. But I'm gonna be using the Nature Nurture Oracle deck to see what comes up as far as any sort of advice that we will have in this season to make sure that we are ushering in this this energy. Okay, we got our card. This energy of us making sure we're looking at stuff from a different perspective, taking it slow, taking it easy, and really using our resources. So funnily enough, remember we were talking about leadership? The leadership card shows up in the Lion. So this is us taking some sort of ownership and taking some sort of leadership and making sure that we're making these things happen. Don't allow things to fall by the wayside. I feel like this is kind of a sign that's talking to us in terms of, okay, you got to do what you got to do. So go ahead and open your mouth and know that right now what's being asked of you can be provided to you. But it's really, and then, when you see a lion, it's giving raw, it's giving fear, it's giving passionate, it's giving exciting. So with the leadership card, it says, if lion has found his way to the front and center of your cards, you're being called to step up and show the way. Your skills, services, courage, brave example are needed now. This card can indicate a need to take action and not wait for permission from elsewhere to begin a project or situation. If you're inquiring about a relationship, you are invited to make the first move. Be clear and direct, but respect the space. Allow the situation to respond without bullying or pushing anyone out of their comfort zone, unless, of course, they ask. So this talks about you having to be courageous, you having to be brave, you having to lead the way right now, right? And the only way that that can happen is by you stepping up and allowing yourself to just be heard and allowing yourself to just be seen, which goes back to what I was talking about kind of like at the very beginning. This also talks about being very clear and direct, but respecting the space. That key word is respect. So it's all about respecting other people's boundaries, respecting your own boundaries in this season right now, in this month, mainly because these are going to be things that, you want to have other people being able to respect them at any time. So you have to show respect in order to receive respect. This also talks about pushing people out of their comfort zone. So when it comes to your comfort zone, what are you willing and able to do? And when it comes to other people's comfort zone, what are you willing and able to do as well? And how can you all find a place where you are on a similar page so that way you can benefit from saving one another in whatever situation you're finding yourself in the midst of? So I want you to take into account right now, what does it mean for you to take up space? What does it mean for you to be the lion? When I think of the lion, I think of like the king of the jungle, right? The king of Zulu. And I want you to think about how, in terms of being able to be the lion or be the lioness, whatever that may be, how do you let your roar be heard no matter where you're going? So I want you to think about what it feels like to actually embody the energy of the lion. Maybe that is channeling that energy, just being like, okay, like I am lion, hear me roar. Wherever I go, I'm walking with a very feline like energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm prancing. I'm ready to pounce when I got to. Okay, I'm ready to take my leap of faith whenever I need to. And maybe this is just a sign of you to take a leap of faith in regards to your own personal sense of leadership. So yeah, this is kind of like what the energy of July is giving. It's giving step up or step out is pretty much what I'm feeling.
Yes, the premonitions is always going to read you. It's always going to get you together because that lion card, it I feel like directly just speaks to me in so many aspects of my life, and just knowing what I already know and knowing what I need to know, but just hearing that right now just literally confirms, like, bitch, you got to step up and step out.
And don't be impatient with yourself right now as you are learning how to step up and step out. That's what the Seven of Plants is speaking to. The Seven of Plants is saying, listen, you've planted some of these things and they just got to grow back up a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? But there's no need for you to rush what you're getting ready to do. You just water your plants and everything's going to grow and go the way that it's supposed to. So just be gentle with yourself and everything will fall in place the way that it needs to in due timing.
Yes. Okay. Listen, come on. July's Purple Pants Premonitions is going to deliver. Might be a little late, but the message is always on time.
On
And the message,
time.
okay, and it's going to roar. Uh, Thank
Okay.
you so much, Garry, for always delivering such insightful and important messages to the posse. We can't thank you enough. But before we conclude this episode, where can the people find you? What's going on in your realm? Let us know.
So you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Gangsta Garry, Gangsta with an A, because we don't do that BER Buster ish over here. You can also email me gangstagarry@gmail.com if you'd like to get your cards read. And right now, I'm just enjoying the summertime, traveling a little bit, maybe doing, a couple readings here and there across the country. You never know, doing a couple things. But yeah, I would suggest if you're trying to get in contact with me, just shoot me an email. I've had people from the podcast reach out to me before for readings, and I just have to say thank you. I'm so gracious for the opportunity to be able to read for some of the Purple Pants posse. But it's been quite a treasure, and I've been grateful to be able to do it. So yeah, I love it.
Yes. Well, we love you and we thank you, and we will return next month for August Premonitions. This has been your Purple Pants Premonition.
Premonitions.
I said it's a I said it's a I said it's a Purple Pants Premonition.